Before European contact in 1492, the Americas were highly populated and incredibly diverse. Indigenous societies built their cultures around the specific climates and geographies they inhabited. In the arid Southwest, the Pueblo peoples constructed vast irrigation systems, and they built multi-story permanent adobe structures directly into the landscape. Further east, the cultivation of maize allowed the Mississippian culture to develop massive sedentary civilizations. They built extensive earthworks and urban centers, like Cahokia, which supported tens of thousands of people. Spanish and Portuguese explorers arriving in 1492 were driven by a specific set of motivations: spreading Christianity, extracting wealth, and securing national prestige: God, gold, and glory. When they arrived, two separate biospheres that had developed in complete isolation for millennia collided. Plants, animals, and pathogens that had never crossed the Atlantic were suddenly brought together. We call this massive two-way transfer of life and ideas the Columbian Exchange. Europeans brought animals to the Americas. The introduction of horses turned many Plains Indian groups into mobile hunters, increasing the efficiency of their bison hunts. Pathogens like smallpox swept indigenous populations, causing They implemented the encomienda system, a labor model that forced Native Americans to work in plantation agriculture and mine the silver that produced coins like this one. This pyramid represents the casta system. Spain enforced strict social control by establishing a rigid hierarchy based entirely on race and intermarriage, with Spanish-born peninsulares at the top and Native and African populations at the bottom. Alongside economic extraction, the Spanish built networks of Catholic missions to forcefully assimilate native peoples into European culture and religion. But indigenous groups actively fought back. During the Pueblo Revolt of 1680, native forces in the Southwest successfully coordinated an uprising, expelling the Spanish from locations like this governor's palace in Santa Fe for over a decade. The Spanish model sought total environmental and social dominance. But as the Pueblo Revolt proves, indigenous peoples remained a potent force capable of halting empire through direct resistance. As disease and the brutal conditions of the encomienda system decimated the native workforce, European empires needed a new source of labor to maintain their profits. To fill this vacuum, European powers turned to West Africa, initiating the transatlantic slave trade to forcibly bring enslaved Africans to the Americas to sustain plantation agriculture. When you look at Period 1 for the AP exam, remember the core causes and effects. European exploration caused severe biological devastation in the Americas, while the extracted wealth fueled European global dominance. You'll also need to compare colonial strategies. This matrix breaks it down. Spain focused on subjugation and resource extraction. France prioritized trade alliances and intermarriage to secure furs. England aimed for agriculture, which meant displacing native populations entirely. Finally, track the continuity and change over time. Indigenous populations faced catastrophic decline and racial intermixing, yet they maintained a continuity of cultural preservation and resistance against imperial control. The Columbian Exchange and the resulting conquests bound Europe, Africa, and the Americas together, forging a modern Atlantic economy built on shifted populations, extracted wealth, and enduring conflicts.